Hi, my name is James Dean, and I'm the owner of Pure Golden Botanicals CBD store at 9100 West National Avenue in West Dallas, Wisconsin. We offer premium quality CBDs at an affordable price. There's a lot of confusion about hemp, the hemp plant, and marijuana. Can you get high from using the CBDs like you do marijuana? So let's talk a little bit about that today and something that I call the ABCs of CBD. So when you take a look at the two plants of marijuana and the hemp plant and you compare them, basically they have the same scientific name of cannabis sativa. So what makes them different? Well, when you take a look at them, obviously, this is what a hemp plant bud looks like. I don't know if you can see that very well, but when you take a look at the bud, it looks just like marijuana. It smells like marijuana, but it's not marijuana. So let's discuss the differences. In the marijuana plant, you smoke the bud, and the bud has a high amount of THC, or the mind-altering effect that gets you high, and very little cannabinoids. In comparison, when you compare a bud of CBD, these buds have very little THC. It has to be less than 0.3%, but it has a very high concentration of what they call the cannabinoids, of which CBD is one of the cannabinoids. So when you take a look at the two plants, they have the same scientific name, but they're very different from the standpoint of being a different strain. To help you understand that, think of it like tomatoes. You have red tomatoes and yellow tomatoes and green tomatoes and pink tomatoes. They're all the same scientific name of a tomato, but the strain of tomato that they are gives them the different characteristics of size and color and taste. And it's the same thing with marijuana and hemp. Marijuana has a high amount of THC in its bud and very little cannabinoids, and it's the other way around with the hemp plant. We actually grew some hemp to find out what the handling and how the growing is. And this is a picture of myself harvesting a hemp plant last fall. This hemp plant strain is called Abacus, and it's very high in the various cannabinoid oils, which are important. Whenever we have a product in our store, whether it be bud or the tinctures or the oral forms like gummies and so forth, we get third-party documentation from our supplier that the concentration of THC is less than 0.3%. There are no harmful additives in it. There are no yeast molds and fungi in it. It's a clean product. So when you take a look at the product and you harvest the product and you get the bud out of it, what do you do next with it? How do you take that plant I just showed you a picture of? First of all, you have to take that plant and dry it. Dry it to a certain percentage of moisture. Once it's dried, then what you do is you remove the bud from it, and you have to take care of the bud because it's a little bit fragile. It has trichomes on it that you don't want to disturb, and you have to take the little tiny leaves off of it. You generally have to manually trim the bud. And then the bud may go through a little more drying. And then generally, if you want to have an excellent bud to be able to sell in a store for people, what you do is you burp it, which means you put it in a sealed container for anywhere up to 3 weeks, and twice a day you open that container to the air and let it air out a little bit and then seal it up again. So when you take a look at the various cannabinoids that are there, I'm going to show you a chart to see if you can see that. The general cannabinoids in most products, there's generally 6 cannabinoids listed here. The blue one, or CBD, is the one that's has the most receptors in your body. A full plant spectrum product also has a little bit of THC in it. Now that's important. Full spectrum products are important because they give an entourage effect, which means they work together synergistically much better than any one of them alone. Consequently, you get a better overall effect with the full spectrum product. There's 2 other types of products out there, mainly made for those who do not want to test positive with a urine test for THC, which there's a possibility if you take a full hemp plant or a full spectrum plant that you could test positive for THC, even though you're not using any marijuana. That product, one of them is called an isolate, and that is only CBD. All of the other cannabinoids have been removed, and when you look at this chart, you'll find out why CBD is such an important cannabinoid. And these are various different ailments that people complain of on this side, and then across the top are the various types of CBDs. The blue one is CBD, I should say cannabinoids. The blue one is CBD, and as you can see, it has the most receptors throughout the body. So some stores carry an isolate. We prefer not to because there's another product available called broad spectrum, which takes the THC out of it, and then what it does is generally it adds back in some of the terpenes and things that may be lost through the removal of all the other of the THC itself. So that's broad spectrum. It has no THC in it. It can give you the entourage effect, but you won't test positive for THC. So we carry full spectrum and broad spectrum at our store. So when you take a look at the various types of products you have the bud, as I showed you, which you can smoke. There's also pre-rolls and vaping products that we carry that if you'd like to smoke it, that's a good way to do it. Why? Because you want to get it into your bloodstream. You have a lot of blood vessels in your lungs, and by smoking it like you would using a marijuana joint, you'll get the cannabinoids into your system much faster. And so smoking is the fastest way really to get it in your system. The next best way is to use a tincture. It's a bottle that looks like this. There's 30 milliliters in this bottle, so there's a 30-day supply because you usually use 1 milliliter a day. And you use this product by taking a half a milliliter generally under your tongue in the morning and hold it there for a minimum of 30 seconds for absorption, and then another half a milliliter under your tongue at night. And how you adjust the doses to find out if you're taking it for pain or inflammation, or for helping with sleep, or helping with stress or anxiety. If that dosage is working for you, stay with it. If you need a little bit more to get the effect, take a little bit more. It's also available in an oral form. This is a form that you can see. They're gummies. They're multiple little colored, tasty gummies. And the way you use these is that you suck on them until they're all gone. We'd rather you do that than eat them, because once they go down through your gastrointestinal tract, depending upon what's in your stomach, it can take longer for the cannabinoids to get into your system. Whereas if you suck the gummies, you get them, the available absorption is much better in your mouth. We also have it available in capsules that you can take orally. And again, then, same thing, it just takes a little longer for those cannabinoids to get in your system by taking a capsule, because it has to go through the gastrointestinal tract. So that's kind of the CBD story of how it compares with marijuana. I hope you've liked it. We have a wonderful website at www.puregoldenbotanicals.com, where you can find more information there about the wonderful world of cannabinoids and how they can help your body. And we also have a store there, so you can compare some of the products that we have and take a look at the tinctures and the gummies. We also have a lot of topical products that you can use, not only cosmetically, because CBDs are great for your skin, but we also have it for pain balm and pain creams, and we have a face and body lotion. And one other thing I'd like to say is that all mammals have an endocannabinoid system. This is a natural product. CBD products are natural to your body. In fact, your body will make CBD at times. So there's literally no side effects to it, because your body says, oh, this is something I recognize, and then it starts working in the various receptors throughout your body. And it's the same way with pets, whether you have a cat, a dog, a lizard, whatever. Any mammals have the same endocannabinoid system, and they can get the same improvement in their health as humans can by taking CBDs for themselves, whether it's in the form of a treat or a biscuit or an oil. So if you have any questions, feel free to stop in at our store, or call me. Our number's on the website, and we'd be happy to answer any questions for you. We'd love you to have you come to our store and visit with us. And for that, I think I'll end the ABC of CBDs today. Thank you.